The Wild West after the Civil War was packed with violence, chances to get rich, and guys who built their names by being quick with a gun. Forget all the stuff Hollywood made up. These are the true stories of 10 real gunslingers, ranked by how deadly they actually were, based on court papers, old newspapers, and people who saw things happen. Coming in at number 10 is Ben Thompson. He was born in 1843 in England and moved to America when he was little. He fought in the Civil War, then got known as one of the best pistol shots on the frontier. He made his money gambling, and trouble seemed to follow him no matter where he went. In 1882, he got into an argument and shot a theater owner named Jack Harris. Even after that killing, he still worked as the city marshal of Austin, Texas. People actually said he did a good job keeping the peace there. He was pretty effective at it, which makes his whole story kind of weird. He ended up quitting after the Jack Harris shooting caused too many problems. Then in 1884, he got ambushed and killed in San Antonio along with his friend King Fischer. A lot of folks forget he was ever a lawman at all. They just remember him as a gambler, but the guy really did wear a badge and help keep order in a tough town. Other gunfighters thought he was one of the most dangerous men around, and Bat Masterson once said his pistol skills were some of the best he'd ever seen. Number 9 is King Fischer. He was born in 1853 in Collin County, Texas. His mom died when he was young, so he grew up in rough times. By the time he was 16, he got caught stealing horses and spent a short time in jail. After that, he started rustling cattle for a living. King Fischer ended up with at least 11 confirmed killings. That included 3 guys from his own gang who turned on him, plus 7 Mexican gunmen in different fights. He basically ran a wild area called the Nueces S Trip, where about 100 outlaws rode with him. He always stood out because he wore flashy, decorated clothes that made him easy to spot. Later on, he tried to go straight and became the deputy sheriff of Uvalde County. But that didn't last. He got killed in the same San Antonio theater ambush as Ben Thompson in 1884. He went from outlaw to lawman, but both lives ended with bullets. Some people think the Manning brothers set up the whole thing. At number 8, we have Dallas Stoudenmire. He was born in 1845 in Alabama and fought in the Civil War, where he got hurt a bunch of times. After the war, he moved to El Paso, Texas, and in 1881 he became the town marshal during one of the roughest times in that city's history. Just 3 days after he started the job, he got caught in a gunfight that people still call 4 dead in 5 seconds. He killed 3 men and 1 innocent bystander really fast. During his time as marshal, he killed at least 9 people total and brought some real fear and order to El Paso when the town needed it bad. His trouble came from a personal fight with the powerful Manning brothers. On September 18, 1882, they ambushed him and killed him. He was fearless, but that same fearlessness is what got him killed in the end. Number 7 is Wyatt Earp. Born in 1848 in Monmouth, Illinois, he worked as a lawman in Wichita and Dodge City before heading to Tombstone, Arizona in 1879. His kill count is listed anywhere from 8 to 30, depending on who you ask. The thing that made him famous was the gunfight at the OK Corral in 1881. Wyatt, his brothers, and Doc Holliday shot and killed 3 members of the Cowboys gang in about 30 seconds. After his brothers Virgil and Morgan got attacked in revenge, Wyatt went on what people call the vendetta ride. He hunted down and killed several suspects across the area. Later in life, he worked as a boxing referee and some mining. He lived all the way until 1929. Hollywood made him look like a perfect hero, but the real Wyatt was also a gambler and someone who knew how to use his tough reputation to his advantage. Number 6 is Billy the Kid. His real name was Henry McCarty, and he was born around 1859 in New York City. He lost his mom to tuberculosis when he was 15 and became an orphan. He started with small crimes and killed his first man at age 18, a blacksmith in Arizona, then ran off to New Mexico. His confirmed kills are between 4 and 9, even though stories say he killed 21 people, 1 for each year he lived. Billy got mixed up in the Lincoln County War in 1878, a nasty fight over who controlled business in the area. He joined a group called the Regulators and helped kill Sheriff William Brady and some other men. He got caught in 1880, but he escaped jail by killing 2 deputies. Sheriff Pat Garrett finally tracked him down and shot him dead on July 14, 1881, at Pete Maxwell's ranch. He was a cattle rustler and killer caught up in those economic fights. His young age and all the newspaper talk turned a desperate kid into a big legend. Number 5 is Wild Bill Hickok. Born James Butler Hickok in 1837 in Illinois, he grew up on a farm whose family helped the Underground Railroad. He left home at 18 and worked driving stagecoaches before becoming one of the most well-known men in the West. He had 6 or 7 confirmed kills between 1861 and 1871. In 1861, at Rock Creek Station in Nebraska, he killed David McCandless and 2 other men in a fight that newspapers later blew up into a story about him killing 10 guys. His biggest famous moment was in 1865 in Springfield, Missouri, when he faced off against Davis Tutt in what a lot of people call the first real quick-draw duel in the West. They were fighting over a watch debt, and Hickok shot Tutt from 75 yards away. On August 2, 1876, Jack McCall shot him in the back of the head while he was playing poker in Deadwood in Dakota Territory. The cards he was holding, aces and eights, became known as the dead man's hand. At number 4 is Clay Allison. He was born in 1841 in Tennessee to a preacher's family. He had a clubfoot from birth and got a bad head injury during the Civil War. The Army actually let him go in 1862 because of what they called fits of emotional and physical excitement. After the war, he headed west, rustled cattle, and got into some crazy stuff. Once he cut off a suspected murderer's head and stuck it on a stick in a saloon. During the Colfax County War in New Mexico over land grants, he led vigilante groups and helped lynch people. One of his wildest stories is the dinner duel with an outlaw named Chunk Colbert in 1874. They sat down to eat together, and when Colbert reached for his gun, Allison shot him dead right there. He said he'd never send a man to hell on an empty stomach. Allison died on July 3, 1887, near Pecos, Texas, after falling off a wagon and breaking his neck. His gravestone says he never killed a man who didn't need killing, which pretty much shows how he looked at things. Number 3 is Jim Miller, also called Killer Miller. Born in 1861 in Arkansas, he became an orphan young and went to live with his grandparents, who were later found murdered. People always whispered that he did it, but nothing was ever proven. He got the nickname Deacon Jim because he went to church all the time, didn't drink or smoke, and always wore a black frock coat. Under that coat, he had a steel breastplate to protect him from bullets. He had 14 confirmed kills, but some historians think the real number might be as high as 50 because he worked as a paid assassin. He charged anywhere from $150 to $2,000 for a job. His first known murder was his own brother-in-law in 1884. He shot him with a shotgun while the man was sleeping. Miller worked as a deputy sheriff in Pecos, Texas, and later shot an ex-sheriff named Bud Fraser with a shotgun after Fraser had already shot Miller 6 times in an earlier fight. The steel plate saved him that time. In 1909, he got paid $2,000 to assassinate U.S. Marshal Gus Bobbitt. He was arrested for it, and on April 19, 1909, a mob dragged him out of jail in Ada, Oklahoma, and lynched him. His last words were, "Let her rip," as he jumped off the box himself. Number 2 is Tom Horn. Born in 1860 near Memphis, Missouri, he ran away from his abusive dad at age 14 and went west. He drove stagecoaches, looked for gold, and then joined the U.S. Army as a scout during the Apache Wars. He spoke Spanish and Apache really well and even helped get Geronimo to surrender in 1886. He had at least 17 confirmed kills, though some say the real total could be around 50 from his time as a hired gun. He worked for the Pinkerton Detective Agency from 1888 to 1894, but left after getting linked to some murders. In Wyoming, rich cattle owners hired him as a range detective to get rid of rustlers. He would ambush people from far away with a Winchester rifle and leave a couple of small rocks under the bodies as his own special sign. He even fought in the Spanish-American War in 1898. His trouble started in 1901 when he was accused of shooting 14-year-old Willie Nickel, thinking the boy was his father. While drinking in a Cheyenne saloon, Horn confessed to a deputy marshal who wrote everything down. He was found guilty in 1902 and hanged on November 20, 1903, just one day before he turned 43. And at number 1, the deadliest gunslinger of them all is John Wesley Hardin. He was born in 1853 in Bonham, Texas, to a Methodist preacher. He killed his first man at just 15, an ex-slave named Mage during a fight about a wrestling match. After that, he shot 3 Union soldiers who came after him and took off running while carrying 2 pistols in holsters on his chest. His total kill count is estimated at 42, with confirmed deaths between 20 and 30 according to court records and witness statements. In 1871 in Abilene, he shot through a hotel wall to stop a man from snoring, killing him on the spot, then got away before Wild Bill Hickok could grab him. During the Sutton-Taylor feud, a range war in South Texas, he fought on the Taylor side and killed several enemies, including a deputy sheriff. In 1877, Texas Rangers caught him after a standoff on a train. He was convicted of murdering Deputy Sheriff Charles Webb on his own 21st birthday and got 25 years in Huntsville prison. While he was locked up for 16 years, he studied law and even passed the bar exam. After getting pardoned in 1894, he tried practicing law in Gonzales for a little while but fell back into his old ways. On August 19, 1895, Constable John Selman walked up behind him in the Acme Saloon in El Paso and shot him in the back of the head. He was 42 years old. A lot of Hardin's victims were black and Mexican men, and in his autobiography he tried to make himself sound like the victim, but the records show a much different picture. He's still the most prolific killer the Old West ever saw. These 10 men helped shape the frontier with their violence, and their reputations grew way bigger than the truth. Their real stories, taken straight from records and without the legends, show a West that was a lot messier and darker than any movie ever made it look. Fast.